Hello, everybody. My name is Paul P.G. McKeown, and I'm here today as day 4 of our Scale Your Coaching Biz Challenge. Now, as has gone on before, what we're trying to do is each and every single day of this challenge, we are trying to, number one, we're trying to teach you something. We're trying to help you by doing something that's actually going to help you. The same strategies, the exact same strategies that we use with all of our high-paying, done for you and done with you clients. Okay, so the exact same strategies. Now, what we're going to do there today is we're going to run through the letter D of the iCanDOur sequence. So the letter D is ICAND. So it's the fifth step, the fifth funnel, the fifth systemized process, if you want, the sales pipeline for our framework of our iCanDOur 8-step complete add to sale framework. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. Now, full disclosure, the first screen of this was inspired by a children's TV series from Netflix, something there that we normally preach against, but it was something that I noticed that my daughter was watching, and it's a series called The Thundermans with this comedy family from the United States. They're these, they've got these superpowers, and yesterday's episode was all about this D, and what they were trying to ask, was it possible to evaluate these two elements? Let's say what they were asking was it all about de-stress or was it all about distress? Okay, and I pay careful attention to those two words, because what I find is that a lot of the coaches, especially during these summer months, especially during the months of June, where it gets quieter, July, where it gets even quieter, and August, where in some countries, what they call it, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, they call this the cucumber season. They call this the cucumber, and if you're from the United Kingdom, particularly from England, or from, let's say they're from India or from Pakistan, they're from Australia, they call this the cucumber and cricket season, because this is where the people sit outside, they take time off work, they take time to spend time with their children, if they're fortunate enough to be able to do that. But you find that, so, there are quite a few of them that have planned, that have scheduled this time away, and that's very, very, very good. To spend time with their children, to spend quality time with their children, to spend quality time with their partners and their loved ones. And those are the people that are able to de-stress, with the hyphen between them. And the other type of people are the coaches, the speakers, the podcast hosts, the retreat providers that are thinking to themselves, oh, hold on a second, because in the next few months, I'm planning to launch my challenge. In the next, maybe the next week, I'm planning to launch my challenge, and I don't have anybody inside it. What am I going to do? And they're ready to pull their hair out if they had any hair, which I don't have, so I would pull it out if I was in that position. But it's almost like, you see the big red button on the right-hand side of that screen. This lady is particularly there. She's distressed, she's frustrated, and she doesn't know where she's going to go with her business. Her business is rapidly turning into what we call an expensive hobby, an extremely expensive hobby. So anyway, as we do, as is familiar there with anybody who has watched any of our previous videos, we love to begin all of these videos with a short story, okay? A short but topical story. So, this is what I call the 8 pillars of, as some of you have got, a $100,000 plus program, a course launch, a retreat, a luxury retreat, okay? And this was my 13th attempt at launching a course. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this time it's definitely, absolutely, utterly, it's really going to work this time. And after months of building, of researching, of planning, etc., I thought there, right, it's now time to press that big red button and the big red imaginary button and launch it to my hopefully waiting, starving crowd, hopefully waiting in air quotes. So anyway, what I did was I ran through my checklist. Now look at the spoiler alert on the top right-hand side. You know, launching a course does take, launching a group coaching program does take, there are more than 4 days, okay? It does take more than the 5 days there that we're with you. So what I want to do is I want to, in all of these screens, I want to make it prevalent there that if you would like us to get you there faster than you ever thought possible, then do what another person there called Sebastian Buz did recently. He became a member of the iCanDOur community. And what he did was he clicked on that link, calendar.icandour.net, and he booked himself a meeting, just like all of the other legendary coaches that are still in the community, but who booked before him. Professor Christian Farioli, Jeff Goslin, the action coach from London, Tanya McCready from the Halliburton Highlands in Toronto province, Ontario province in Canada, just like Coach Herman Marini III, Teresita Victorian, all of those amazing people that have gone before him and that are still part of the community. So welcome to you, Sebastian, and welcome to everybody else who is watching these videos and taking part in this challenge. Okay, now this is, as always, this is a really important lesson, but look who this lesson, somebody, not mentioning any names in particular, in my language, it's called ismisha. I'll tell you what that means in a moment, but this person was 100% guilty of not following his own rules. Okay, so let's look through this checklist. Yes, and let's read this checklist. Let's pay attention to this checklist because it's very, very important. So the first element is the roadmap, the customer journey. This is what we did on day 0. So after you filled in your avatar, after you sent it off there to get your free leads, the free leads that you got on day 3 of the challenge. If you haven't got your free leads, please get in touch. There again, just type in calendar.icandour.net. And myself, or a member of my team, will talk to you there. We'll invest time talking with you to try to figure out what was the problem with getting your leads. But I think most of you, we've been through the checklist, and most of you have not got your leads, and you've confirmed that you've got your leads. So thank you very much for the confirmation. So anyway, the roadmap, the customer journey, this is the first step where we do it visually, we do it descriptively, and then we build the cover for our lead magnet. We don't build the content at that point, but we build the cover, okay? We always start off with the thumbnail, with the concept, with the image, because this is what's so important for that vital, that important click from your prospect, from your marketplace. And then we go on to the invite funnel sequence there. This is the part where we invite them from the warm, comfortably safe, lovely, cozy, super duper world of social media, be it LinkedIn, be it Twitter X, be it Facebook, be it Meta, be it Instagram, whatever they're calling themselves this week, be it even TikTok. Okay. So, and that's a double check there, because that's a really important one. You have to bring them across. You have to start bringing them across this bridge over to the promised land, as we've shown you in some of the previous videos. And then what we've got to do is we've got to captivate them through clarity. We've got to introduce this problem-solving landing page that solves one problem, that offers one solution, your solution, and that offers one CTA, one call to action. Then after that, what we do is we ask, and ask again. In other words, we survey them. We produce maybe not just one survey there, Sebastian, but quite a few. I'll show you through some of the surveys there that we produced before, and we do it with a theme. Maybe it's an ABBA theme. Maybe it's a Star Wars theme. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. And Harrison Ford doesn't, apparently, but I do. Ask, and ask again. Very, very important that we ask at least 4 times, 4 different sets of questions. So questionnaires, quizzes, or surveys. And then we have to nurture those nuanced niches. This is what we did on day 4, part 1. This is where we get the chance to feed our starving crowd. Okay, and we're not only just giving them fish, but we're teaching them how to fish. And this is what we did there with all of the leads that we gave you yesterday. Okay, so we've taught you now how to fish and how to use the fish that we have pre-caught for you. In other words, these 123 quality scored leads that we gave and that we gifted to each and every one of you these are excited, enthused prospects, potential prospects from your marketplace that turned up on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or TikTok or whatever. Okay, and then what we did, what was that? I don't know. I'll come back to it in a moment, right? So then what we do is we offer them an incredible opportunity. Now, I am able to spell the word opportunity, but for some reason, Canva do not like the way that I've spelt it. And I have to do that screen again. Seriously, I've got another video on that if you want to see that I do actually spell opportunity properly. But something is happening with the Canva interface at the moment. This is the presentation, by the way, that I designed in the SaaS tool, the software as a service tool called Canva.com. Many of you coaches are familiar with it. Many of you speakers, you authors, you podcast hosts, you luxury retreat providers. Okay. And then what we do is we take them through the process of this unique video positioning, where we start to position all of their messages about the blind spots there that they solve with more empathy, with tons more authority than their competitors. And we make these videos appear at the top of Google page 1. Where exactly? Directly above their competitors, directly below the paid adverts, the Google ads, or what used to be called the Google AdWords, okay? The Google pay-per-click campaigns. Right. So that's where we make them appear, just directly underneath that. And sometimes we can even make them appear in a concatenated playlist, which is very, very powerful. And then we go through the results rule period. Now, this is where we monitor, we tag, we document, we video document, we record absolutely bloody everything. And this is so important because whenever you do this, remember the old mantra that all of you coaches are very familiar with. What gets measured gets managed. What gets measured gets managed. And this is so important. Okay, right. So anyway, what do you think were my results? Was the world ready for this incredibleness? If this is a word that is used outside of that Thunderman's comedy show for young children like my daughter. Was the world ready for this incredibleness that I was about to unleash upon the world? What do you think were my results? My heart was pounding. My nerves were shattered. I was shaking, but anyway, I shake 24/7. I've got Parkinson's. So anyway, so my heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. I logged into my sales cart, which is Kartra.com. So it might be ClickFunnels for some of you. For some of you like Leanne Bentley and Jane Smith, it's WordPress. For some of you other people, it's GrooveFunnels, if you're a groovy groovester. And what do you think of the results? Well, these were the results that I got from LinkedIn, and these were the results that I got from Facebook ads. I'm going to show you those in a minute, okay? My computer basically said, no. And that was it. I'd made from LinkedIn the grand total of 2 sales, and I'd made from Facebook ads 2 sales. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? That's not too bad. And it was very, very, very late, you know, because what I do is I work very late in the evenings here, which is early day in, for example, California in Pacific time. Because Pacific time is 9 hours behind us here in Central Europe. So there I work to accommodate the clients from North America. So all across North America, from the United States and from Canada. And this is important. So I just basically thought to myself, oh, well, you know what? It's very, very late now. I'm going to go to bed. And I went to bed and I thought to myself that the launch was going well. But remember, the computer says no. I was already mentally counting in my head all of the cash there that I'd made. You know, it was bum, 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 bum. And in the morning, I woke up very, very early. I was excited and I logged into the Kartra CRM once again. I logged into my sales cart and I could not believe what I was seeing. It was like time was standing still for a moment. I kept pressing F5, you know, the refresh key on my browser. And I kept doing it again and again and again. And I kept staring at the number on my screen. Now, what do you think that the screen was saying? The screen was still saying 4 sales. I had still only made 4 sales. So, you know, at this point, I was ready to reach out to my mother and to my 2 sisters and my brother-in-law and say thank you. But it was stagnant. And this was like quite a bit later. And I was thinking to myself, oh no, my 13th, unlucky for some, including me, to launch my course to the universe and beyond, was turning into yet another epic failure. And this is what I call the curse of the course creator. Yes, a curse. This is a difficult word to say, all of this onomatopoeism. A course creator's curse. There, I think that said it properly. And, you know, what I've discovered is that this was not just happening to me. I asked around and I interviewed there some of the coaches, and I was staggered. I was bewildered. I was overwhelmed by the number of coaches who came back to me and said that building courses, to put it very, very mildly, had belly flopped, you know, like poof, the big thing where you just hit the water splat with your stomach, and the water goes absolutely everywhere. And you see, this for me, this is a shame. This is a real crying shame. Because you see, most course creators, myself included, have spent an incredible amount of time and energy building their course, building their workshops, building their community. But you see, a lot of them, myself included, Misha, it's the Irish word, the Gaelic word, the Celtic word for myself, me, myself, and I. Forget about the much needed marketing mechanics. And I was 100% guilty of this up to this point. Because what they do is they forget about this all-important launch sequence. Like, think about it there. You're back in Houston, in the state of Texas, in the United States. They're the home to NASA. And then you remember those movies, Houston, I've got a problem. Houston did have a problem when I flew into it, forgetting some important things. And I had to spend a long time talking to the US Customs and Border Guards. Oh dear. I brought in an Apple core. There were no bins. There are no bins in American airports until you clear immigration. So I brought in an apple there on the plane that I was using for my lunch, and I couldn't eat the apple core. And that is, of course, dangerous, because what you're bringing in a fruit or a vegetable from another continent, from the continent of Europe, and that could come in, and then if that was exposed to the crop, to the plantations in North America, it could bring in an unknown disease. So it's very, very important that they remove that. And I didn't think about that. I was just thinking, I've eaten my apple. It's 99% eaten, but I couldn't eat the core. And so the border guards had, obviously and rightly so, a very big issue with that. And this was not global terrorism, but it could be, let's say, for example, biological warfare. If that apple had been diseased or whatever. So we had to dispose and destroy of that apple core very, very carefully. So anyway, this is the all-important launch sequence. This is what people do, including myself. They sit down on a Thursday evening. Sometimes they sit down on a Thursday evening and they write a few emails, like 1 or 2 or 3, and then they're trying to tell their list. Excuse me. I'm just right. Okay, I have to do this now. Okay, I'll come back to you later. Right, I'll talk to you later. Yes, thank you. Yes, MC, I'll talk to you later. Yes, thank you.
I saw something about the package.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we'll go for the package then later. That was my daughter. And she's got a package coming because she's going back to school on Monday. So she's got a package now that's just been delivered from Amazon. A back to school package, as we call it. Okay. So anyway, they're trying to write these 1 or 2 or 3. I've seen people trying to do it with 1 email, and they write to their list. Yeah, their list that they haven't communicated with sometimes in a very, very, very long time. That on Monday that they're going to launch a book funnel. They're going to launch a course funnel. they're going to launch a webinar funnel, or they're perhaps going to launch a very expensive, highly paid luxury retreat funnel. And they almost always, myself included, forget about this part. This is, they forget about the all-important launch sequence, which has 4. Let's count them. Let's see if I can count up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 distinct parts. And all of them have been taught to us for many, many years by this incredible man, this marketing coach called Jeff Walker, from the Midwest in the United States of America. And this man is an incredible marketing coach. And this is where we get all of the information about this, the do it sequence. This is fundamental. If you look at the iCanDOur logo, the letters D and O have got a circle around them, which is what forms our favicon, or the little logo that you would see if you're opening up any of our browsing tabs from our courses, from our premium courses. There are all of which you can get for, remember, $7 US for all of the courses. Okay. This is just DIY though. This is the DIY, the do-it-yourself option. If you want us to do it faster, just reach out and just type into your browser calendar.icandour.net. Choose your time zone in the top right-hand corner from the drop-down, and then select a day and a time appropriate to you. And then what will happen is a member of my team will get in touch with you just to confirm the meeting and to get it booked safely and securely onto both of our Zoom calendars, our Google calendars. Okay, so right now let's go back to this checklist for a moment. Do you see what we've done? Okay, right, we're going to go back now. Now look at this. What have we forgotten? What have we forgotten? Right, what have we forgotten? We have forgotten this. We have forgotten the delivery, the do it, the launch sequence. Okay, that's what we have forgotten. And this is the part there. We've forgotten the do it. We've forgotten this launch sequence. Okay. Now, if I go through this in the right way, the launch sequence has four parts to it. 4 parts. Part number 1. I'm going to take a sip of water.
Part 2. Can I take launch chips?
Yeah, if you want. Right. Okay. So part 1 is the do it. The pre-launch formula. And then part number 2. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Part number 2 is the drive the DeLorean, the pre-launch formula. And then part number 3 is the deliver, the delivery. So in other words, the launch formula. Okay. And then part number 4 is the drive it home, the all-important, the post-funnel sequence, the post-launch formula. You know, like whenever you're a golf player, or you're a snooker player, or a billiards player, or maybe an American pool player, you always have to follow through. So for example, you're aiming, you shoot, but you don't just like pull it up and run away with your golf club. No, you have to follow through. You see all of those people, like you remember Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, the very famous person from the United States, Sergio Ballesteros from Spain. Of course, we've got all of the ones there from Ireland, a very popular pastime in Ireland to play the sport of golf, because you play it whenever you're too knackered to play anything else. It's not like baseball or American football or soccer, as is popular over here. This is golf. This is the almost like a retirement pastime. Yeah, a very nice sport. I do like it there. My father played it, and I play it there from time to time. Very nice, very relaxing, very therapeutic. But that's whenever we play it. Okay, so then this is where we drive it home, the all-important sequence. Okay, so now let's think about this. Now remember, delivery part 1. This is very important. Pre-launch sequence. This is like the warning shot across the bow. Imagine those 2 military ships in the South China Seas, and they just want to make clear there to, you know, okay, maybe they're off the coast of Taiwan, and maybe one of them is from China, and maybe one of them is from the United States, and they're just like firing a warning shot across the other bow just to tell them, hello, we're here, don't come too close to us. Okay, that's what it's like. And then the second one here is the pre-launch sequence, and this is called KISSS, 3 S's, not 2. Okay, because you're all familiar with the KISS strategy, but this is not that one. This is the KISS. Okay, let's go through that in a moment. Then the launch sequence, and then the post-launch sequence. So now let's try these both one by one. Now, when do we do the pre-launch, the pre-launch sequence? This is what I was talking to you, Sebastian, about. Because this is when people are asking me, like Evan has asked me, David Hall has asked me, a lot of people have asked me, when shall we expect the results? When can we start to expect the results? Well, when you cannot expect the results is if you do something like I did on the Thursday evening and expect everybody to be sitting there expectantly waiting on the Monday morning. People have got other commitments. People have got coaching business to run. People have got a speaking, a podcasting business to run. People cannot just be expected to drop everything at the drop of a hat to turn up for these things. They have to be warmed up. They have to be nurtured. Okay, especially if your list has gone cold, so that you haven't communicated with them in quite some time. So the delivery part, this pre-launch sequence, this has to happen. There, it's recommended to happen, as Jeff Walker says, at least 8 weeks. In other words, 2 months before the actual launch. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's a book funnel, a webinar funnel, a course funnel, a retreat funnel, a luxury retreat funnel, it doesn't really matter. You have to do this 8 weeks, 2 months before the launch. And then you're going to increase the number of emails that you send them from maybe 1 per week. Okay, so maybe it'll start off 1 per week, maybe 3 times per week. And in these ones, you're going to share some relevant case stories, not case studies. Case studies are boring, but case stories where you interact with the other people, they're a little bit more lively. Maybe you're going to share some client interviews, maybe make a sizzle reel for them. Okay. And then the second one, this is the KISS principle. Now, what that stands for is keep it simple, keep it systemizable, and keep it scalable. In other words, what we want to do is the main outcome from this 5-day scaling your coaching biz challenge is that you will eventually, note the word eventually be able to fire all of those one-to-one clients. Yes, we did say fire all of those one-to-one clients, and either work towards building you out a semi-automated 24/7 version of yourself, and building out a group coaching program, which ultimately will be much more profitable than just having 3 or 4 or maximum 5 one-to-one clients. Because even if those one-to-one clients are paying you $3,000 for your program, okay, for your coaching, for your one-to-one coaching, think about that. Okay, that might be nice. You know, month 1, you've got $15,000. You've got 5 one-to-one clients, each paying you $3,000. You've got $15,000, and you think to yourself, brilliant, okay, this is great, this is fantastic. But what happens then in month 2? What happens in month 3? What happens in month 4? What happens if you lose 50% of your clients? Remember, what happens whenever your program finishes? Let's say, for example, it's a 6-week or an 8-week or a 12-week program. What happens at the end of those 12 weeks? What happens if some of those people run into payment difficulties during that time? We always recommend that you bill quarterly. So not monthly, but you bill quarterly. So in other words, for the 3 months. But you do this on a monthly recurring revenue basis. But what happens there if that person, or let's say 2 or 3 of those people, get into problems and maybe they finish your course or whatever? All of a sudden, then you're down to $6,000 per month. And then all of a sudden, you might be having a difficult conversation with your spouse or with your partner or with your loved one or with your family. Because remember, you've still got those expenses. You've still got to pay for all of these systems. If you're a member of Action Coach or High Performance Coach, you'll still have to pay all of your coach fees. You might still have to pay for all of those other incidentals. You might still have to pay for your mortgage. You might still have to pay for your student loan. You might have to pay for your car payment. And then all of a sudden, then you can't do that because you're down to 2 customers. And then what happens if you lose one of those customers? Then all of a sudden you're down to one customer, and then you're down to $3,000 per month. And then that's a really, really, really risky venture. Now, if you were to compare this to having a group coaching program, and then where there's no limit on this, but the people are coming in, they're taking advantage of the automated teachings, and then you're turning up maybe live once every week or once every 2 weeks, and then you're talking to like quite a lot of them. You're building a community, you're nurturing a community, and you're building relationships. You're building important relationships. Then this is when it starts to get really, really good. And this is why we always talk to people about this KISS principle. We have another video about it. It's only 140 seconds long. You should check it out on our YouTube channel on @iCanDOur. So the @ iCanDOur, the name of the formula, iCanDOur as it's written there. So it's a really old English word, candor. In the United States, you spell it without a U, but over here in Europe, we spell it with a U, and we just put an I in front of it because everybody these days who's called Steve Jobs or Steve Wozniak puts an I in front of everything, okay? Or at least he did during Steve Jobs' life. He brought us the iPhone, the iPod, the iPad, etc., the iWatch. And anyway, now the schedule of events. So this one, the part 2, the KISS principle, happens 4 weeks. In other words, 1 month before the date that you're due to go live with your launch. And this is where you might host a weekly, either on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live or on LinkedIn Live. And then this is the point where you're going to activate your affiliate army, your JV army also maybe. And we'll show you how to do that step by step inside the paid iCanDOur content training portal. Remember, $7 for all of these 8 strategies, plus a whole host of bonuses. $7 for everything. $47 if you want to upgrade and then come and join us behind the scenes on Zoom 15 minutes after all of these live training ends, and then $97 if you want us to build out one of those things, for example, like your roadmap, like a detailed avatar, or maybe your lead magnet, okay, as some of you wanted us to do. So whatever you can do there, that's for $97. Okay, so some really nice low ticket offers. Now, what are we trying to do here? Here we're trying to share and solve the one problem that your course sets out to solve, and showcase this in as many different ways as possible. Graphically, with images from Canva, with short little video. Again, you can do that from Canva. You can do a VSL with your camera turned off and just the screen sharing turned on. You can create content that speaks directly to your ideal targeted avatar. Now, what are you talking to them about? About whatever they've talked to you about during the survey phase. You remember the ask, 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 and ask again. So during that phase, whatever content, whatever comments there that they have subjected to you, that they have sent to you, this is what you're going to be following up with them on. And then you're going to be sharing stories. You're going to be responding to comments, and you're going to be absolutely bloody everywhere. You're going to be omnipresent. We're going to show you how to do that in the next lesson, okay? Then we're going to go through part 3. This is the all-important launch sequence. Launch sequence. Now, believe you me, this is hard. This is hard. This is very hard. You have to get the marketing mechanics into place. And this is what I keep saying to each and every one of you. How many times have you witnessed in your life, if any of you know any neurosurgeons, any brain surgeons, if any of you know any like well-to-do accountants, well-to-do lawyers, when was the last time that you saw a brain surgeon, a neurosurgeon doing anything else other than neurosurgery, anything else other than brain surgery, an accountant doing anything else other than accountancy, or a lawyer doing anything else than legal stuff? But so many times in my life, so many times over the past 29 years and 1 month, but who is counting, have I witnessed a person trying to do absolutely everything. They're trying to do their accounts to reduce on the accountancy fees. It doesn't reduce them, believe you me. I see people doing this. They're trying to mow their lawn. tend to their grass, their gardens, because it's going to reduce the gardening bill. They're tending to absolutely everything. They're trying to do their sales, they're trying to do their marketing, they're trying to build the funnels, they're trying to post content, they're blogging their brains out, they're posting left, right, and center. They're not really sure what they're doing. Sometimes they're just copying and pasting, and they're just trying to do everything because somebody else is doing it. And there's no strategy behind that. And what they're doing is they're spending 80% of their time doing unproductive things. And I've spoken to you about this in other lessons where we've actually worked out there that sometimes they tell me, oh, yes, my hourly rate is $95 per hour, or my hourly rate is perhaps $47 an hour, or perhaps $350 an hour. And then we actually do the calculations, and we find out how much time that they've spent in the gardens. One of the coaches was spending 5.5 hours on the garden. And he thought, oh, it's no time at all. I just take out the lawnmower and the strimmer, and I do this and that. And then we have to think about the setup time. Another one was painting their own house. And it was bringing their hourly rate down because they just thought, oh, it's nothing. I just, roll on a little bit of paint. But no. You've got all of the prep work to do before it. You've got all of the sourcing of the paint, the materials, etc. Whereas you could just bring in a professional to do that and maybe pay them $50 an hour. But at least if you're paying them $50 an hour, what you're supposed to be doing during that time is sitting down, doing your coaching, doing what you were put on this good earth, on God's good earth to do. And that is to coach. That is your superpower. Your superpower is not doing the gardening, unless you're a gardening coach. And, we have worked with some of them from the Netherlands. So we did work with a gardening coach. And yes, your superpower is teaching other people how to have immaculate lawns, how to have immaculate, the best grass seed, which incidentally comes from the country of Georgia, not the state of Georgia, but the country of Georgia. And it's grown in a laboratory, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if your job, if your métier, if your joie de vie is gardening coach, then yes, definitely you've got to be there. But if you're a business coach, believe you me, you should not be, unless it's to make videos. Like Jeff Gosling has made some lovely videos out in his beautiful, beautiful garden. But full disclosure, Jeff Gosling does not do his actual gardening. He pays a professional gardener to do that so that he can spend all of his time with his fantastic clients in his Solopreneur Profit Club, in his growth clubs, in his, those quarterly clubs that Jeff runs on the first Friday before each new quarter starts. Like, for example, on the last Friday of September, that'll be the next one. And this is what happens. Now, you have to think about this. You should not be doing absolutely everything. Because I understand, I fully sympathize that this is hard work. And this is why I say, get involved there, type in calendar.icandour.net. And then what you will see is we will have a talk together with myself or a member of my team. And we will give you some actionable strategies that you can take away for free. The call is free. But what we're just saying is that perhaps, if this truly is an excellent fit between us, if we think that we could really benefit from working together, then this is what we will do. Yeah, and if not, no hard feelings at all. This is fine and dandy, and we will continue on to be LinkedIn friends, hopefully for years and years and years to come. And we will like your content, comment on your content, post on your content, etc. Don't worry about that. But the thing that we want to do is we want to show you that you can do this, to a certain extent on your own. But wouldn't it be better to concentrate on what you were put on this earth to do? And that's coach, provide coaching services for other people. That's my theory on it. Because so many times I see people just trying to do absolutely everything themselves, and I feel so sorry for them. This is including the coaches that live very, very, very close to me. I worked with a number of coaches from the US Army, and it just saddens me whenever I see them trying to do absolutely everything. And I just want to, kick them on the backside and just say to them, hey, look, Sergeant, whatever, Lieutenant, whatever, please, can we work together to do this faster than you ever thought possible? okay, Paul, sure, you know, run me through your presentation, run me through your slide deck. And I run them through the slide deck, and then they think to themselves, there's this Homer Simpson moment, if you want. Homer Simpson is a character from that animated series, The Simpsons, and there's that moment where he does what I call the audible click. He slaps himself in the forehead like that. He's bald like myself. Well, he's a computer-generated character, and he goes, duh, that duh moment. And that's what it is. It's that moment of realization, okay? Now, the week before the launch, this is important. You have to make sure that the number of emails that you're sending is 10. That's 1 per day. And 24 hours before the live time, let's say, for example, if it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, as it is for these challenges, you want to be emailing them 3 times in the 24-hour period before that. So Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, you're starting to email them at least 3 times, because people, believe you me, a lot of people wait until the very, 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 very last possible moment. And that's fine. I do it myself. But it's a chance. It's a last chance. So you're putting them into this deadline sequence, and you'll see all of the scripts inside the content training portal that you can get into for $7 US for all of the courses. Okay. And this is where it is. Like, we will really provide you with this actionable advice to try to help you to get there faster. Okay. And then finally, now this is very, very important. This is the post-launch sequence. This is what I spoke about a moment ago with the Tiger Woods and his follow through with the golf clubs, with the people there from American pool or billiards or snooker, as is more common over here in Europe. But this is very, very important. Okay. And this should be done 3 weeks after the initial launch date. So, for example, if you launched it on the 1st of September, then it should be 3 weeks, not 3 weeks from the end of the course, but 3 weeks from the beginning. So if it launched at 1 p.m. on let's say Friday, the 1st of September, then you should be doing this at the very, very latest 21st, isn't it? 22nd. Yeah. 22nd. Math is not an exact science, as I tell my daughter very often, except whenever she's doing her math homework. Right, so 3 weeks after the launch date, what you have to do is 3 things. You have to follow up with all of the attendees. So these are the people there that have attended your challenge, your webinar challenge, that they have attended the event itself, be it on Zoom, be it on Webinar Jam or Webinar Ninja or wherever it is. And then you've also got to follow up with all of the non-attendees. In other words, those people who registered but didn't attend. And believe you me, there probably will be more than 50% of them, probably more than 50% of them. Think about it like this. From the people who register, you will probably be looking at the numbers of 50% or slightly lower than 50% of the people who actually turn up and invest the time to attend. And don't just like pay it lip service, okay? But sometimes with the follow-up, what you will do is you will find that some of those people will come back on board. And then you've got to also follow up with those people who left early. And if you're using any sort of webinar software, Webinar Jam, Webinar Ninja, whatever, you will find that software, all of those softwares, they're all very good. They all have metrics, and they can tell you there, for example, whenever the person started to click on other browsers and started to look and see what was on Netflix or something else. Yes, they can monitor those things. And they will look at the people there that have just left, you know, maybe their partner or something called them for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, whatever, because we do realize that we run these things very, very early in the day for all of you people who are in North America. It's because it's later in the evening here in Europe. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to present to them, you see, your highly compelling sales offer. So this is the people there that missed out on that because they've left after you've dropped your hook, but before you've actually presented your offer. Okay. Now, speaking of offers, this always segues very neatly, doesn't it? I want to tell you once again about the offer. So you see, my aim for you is to try to help you to get there faster. Now, I will give you 1 or 2 of these, sometimes even 3 of these actionable strategies there that you can go away, you can take them away for free, and you can implement them in your business. And if you do, it's no hard feelings at all. This is business. Okay, but If you want to just examine the possibilities of how we could get you there faster than you ever thought possible, with myself and my experienced team of these VAs, these virtual assistants, these appointment setters, etc., then let's have a chat. Let's have a strategic 17.5-minute discussion together there, as you've seen in some of the previous lessons. And all you have to do is go to your browser and type in calendar.iCanDOur.net. Okay, and that will take you there. Now, remember, these are the schedule of events. This is just the summary of it. 8 weeks before the launch, this is your pre-launch. This is your deliver your lead magnet sequence. Okay, so you've got to release the lead magnet to the starving crowd. Now, how are we going to do that? We're going to look at what has come in through your ask formula, your surveys, your questionnaires, your quizzes. And we're going to ask the AI to produce for us a number of points. And some of you people there, Jeff Gosling, Prudence McDaniel, there, Christian Farioli, all of these people, they were blown away when they saw what the artificial intelligence was suggesting to them. You know, it's as Elon Musk says, it is something to be very, very frightened of, but something there that we can embrace as theoretically a new employee in our company, a new employee who never takes a break and who is regurgitating from the information that is already out there in the ether. And then you see, whenever you introduce the concept of these funnels, be it from WordPress, from Kartra, from ClickFunnels, from GrooveFunnels, you're introducing another 2 virtual members to your team. So with the AI 1 and with the Kartra funnels 2, so you're introducing another 3 virtual members to your team. These people, these virtual bots, if you want, will never take a break. They will work 24 hours a day, not 7 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365.25 days of the year. They will never take holidays. They will never take a weekend off. They will never leave work early. They will always be there. And if you program them properly, like we've got 1,500 AI primer prompts inside our content training portal that you can have for $7 US for all of those courses and all of those bonuses. Okay? And you can release this magnet to your starving crowd. In other words, give them what they want. Give them what they need. And then 4 weeks before the launch, we're going to drive the DeLorean sequence. Now, people ask me, why do we call it Drive the DeLorean? And inside the content training portal, you will find out why. Because the DeLorean was this car. It was produced and designed by this person. His name was John DeLorean. He was Canadian. And this was during the time of the Bill Clinton era, William Jefferson Clinton, the former president, the former US president, Bill Clinton. What he did was he was determined to put Ireland on the map from the perspective of North America. And this was the early 1990s. And the only time Ireland appeared on the map in the United States was whenever the boys from U2, whatever, went over, or maybe once a year on St. Patrick's Day. And by the way, the first St. Patrick's Days were celebrated exclusively only in the United States, for example, in the state of Chicago. They were not celebrated in Ireland simply because our country was too poor. And thanks to the United States and thanks to investment there from governments like the Bill Clinton administration, there they helped to put Ireland on the map, and they helped to put my country there. They injected us with all of their technical companies. So, for example, Microsoft has 4 headquarters in Ireland. Apple computers, Apple they've now got, what is it, 3 factories, 3 huge factories in Ireland. Facebook, or Meta as they're now known, also have got huge factories. All of the people there, all of these technical companies there that originate from the United States have got their European headquarters in Ireland, and it's thanks to that time. But what it all started off with was this car, this DeLorean, and there weren't many made. There was a little bit of, let's call it, shenanigans that went on, and some people ended up in jail because of this for a long time. But anyway, this legendary film producer, this movie producer called Steven Spielberg, that I'm sure that you're all familiar with, You should be more familiar with people like Jim Rohn and Bob Proctor and Tony Robbins, but I'm sure some of you have also heard of Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg purchased, I think, 8 of these cars, and he destroyed one of them. He really destroyed one of them. And he turned them into these futuristic time-traveling machines with the actors, Michael J. Fox, also as Parkinson's, like myself, and Christopher Lloyd. 2 brilliant actors, and they changed the world around with this futuristic time-traveling comedy. Of course, it's a movie, but they used this DeLorean as their time-traveling vehicle, the only vehicle ever produced on the island of Ireland. So it was thank you to John DeLorean and to the former president, the former US President Bill Clinton, for putting Ireland on the map. And that's why we call this the driving the DeLorean sequence, because what we're doing is we're inviting people behind the factory doors. We're letting them look over our shoulder and we're showing them the secret sauce. And a lot of people say to me, but Paul, if I do that, I'm giving away the farm. I'm giving away the wife. I'm giving away the kids. And some people think that's a good thing, but no, you should not think that. I'm giving away almost everything. And believe you me, this is a good thing. Because a lot of people will realize there, and I know this there, and I've done this, I've bought the t-shirt more times than I care to remember. You know, I've come into these things and I've paid my $7 US for all of their courses, like for the courses from Frank Kern, from Tony Robbins, from Dean Graziosi, from Russell Brunson. And I've paid this $7 or $9 or whatever. And I come in, I realize this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. And if I was a coach, if I was a speaker, if I was a podcast host or a luxury retreat provider, I'd be sort of thinking, well, hold on a second there. Where's the phone? I need to call for help. Yes, I need to call for help. And I need to call for help very, very, very quickly. And that's what it's going to be all about. It's going to be all about phoning for help and then getting help there so that you can get to your goals. You can get to your core goals faster than you ever thought possible. Okay? So invite them into your world, build the awareness, increase the authority. And then 1 week before the launch, we do our launch, our do it sequence. And this is where we increase the email frequency to 5 to 7 times per week. And remember, 3 emails scheduled on the last 24 hours. Okay, so there's going to be 10 in total. So 7 emails, 1 for each day of the week. And then for the last day, 3 emails. So 7 plus 3 is 10. As I said, math is not an exact science in our household, but don't tell my daughter that, please. Then number 4, the 3 weeks after the launch, we have to do the post-launch. In other words, the driving it home sequence, okay? Because we've got to invite the people into what we call a calendar funnel, where we invite them to book a call with you. All of those who attended your webinar, all of those who registered but did not attend. These are very important people as well. And all of those people who attended, but perhaps for one reason or another, maybe they had another booking, maybe they had to do something else, maybe their wife or their husband or their children called them, just like my child did a few moments ago with an important message there to tell me, oh, Daddy, my package has just arrived from Amazon. So I've got a notification and I have to now go to the post box to collect it. Okay. Because you see, remember, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring them all to this magic marketing triangle. This is what was made famous to us by the legendary marketeer called Dan Kennedy. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the right message delivered at the right time to the right marketplace. In other words, the right prospects. This is what we call our marketplace. Using the right medium. In other words, the right type of social media. In other words, if they are active on TikTok, putting a message on TikTok, whenever they're active there. If they're active on LinkedIn, in other words, they've put some posts there in the last 30 days, then we hit them with those messages at that time. If they're active on their Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, any of the Meta platforms, then we put the message out to them there. And that's how the magic marketing triangle works. But you can see how powerful this is. And if we do this properly, and if we do not ignore steps in the process, like I did myself with my own strategies, And I thought, oh yeah, deliver it. Oh yeah, we do that. Don't worry about it. And I put it at the back of my head, and I went through the checklist. Oh yes, double check, triple check. Yes, and I forgot about the 4 steps, the 4 parts of this delivery sequence, this do it funnel. Okay. And this is so important. Yeah. So remember this checklist and really, print all of these strategies out. They're inside the content training portal. There you're able to print out all of these checklists, and you're able to make sure there that you have done all of these items. Because believe you me, if you don't do this part of the strategy, and if you do not do all 4 parts of this strategy, you will not be covered. Number one, so you will not be covered through our super duper titanium plated 1 conditional guarantee, because the 1 condition, remember, is that you turn up, you take action, you do all of the steps, even for those done for you customers. Yeah, the done for you customers like Sebastian, like Jeff, like Christian, like Tanya, like Hank, like Herman, and like Teresita, and Jane and Leanne, and all of those wonderful, wonderful people. They still have to turn up. They still have to record the videos, the video scripts that are given to them. And we still have to make sure that it's their voice, it's their message there that we're trying to get through in their words to their marketplace, to their prospects. So in other words, they're seeing you, their future coach, their future speaker, their future podcast host, resolving their problems for them in front of their face, showing them your secret sauce. That's what it's all about. Okay. So remember, this is where we are in the sequence. You see those sales funnels, those 8 sales funnels. Remember, they're getting narrower and narrower and narrower. And we're now beyond the halfway point. We're now beyond the halfway point. All of you lovely people, we're at stage number 5. And remember, if you want us to do it for you, just type in calendar.iCanDOur.net. Now, this is where we are in our roadmap. You see, we're avoiding the dangerous marketing sharks, those marketing sharks that will cost you thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars without providing you with a return on your investment. Okay. And what we're trying to say to you is there that if you do all of these steps, and if you do them all in this logical order, remember, this is a drip-fed course. So you don't get to module 1 until you've completed module 0, the roadmap. You don't get to module 2, captivate, through clarity, the celebrity, etc., until you've done module 1, until you've completed module 1. So it's very, very important there that you complete all of these steps. Okay. And they're coming next. In the next lesson, what we're going to be going through is this offer. You remember Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and Andy Garcia, who all played the legendary roles of Don Corleone in the Godfather series, Godfather Part 1. What is it now? 52 years old. 52 years old, that movie. Amazing. I watched that in the 1970s. And then the Godfather Part 2 and the Godfather Part 3 with Andy Garcia. Godfather Part 2 was with Al Pacino in the role of Don Corleone. And this is what it's all about. It's all about producing them, making them an offer that they cannot refuse. A no-brainer, a complete no-brainer of an offer. This is really, really important. You have to watch this there because this is incredible. And then the opportunity, taking them, presenting them with the opportunities, because opportunities are absolutely everywhere. All you have to be doing is to be willing to bend over and pick them up. And then we're also going to be showing you this very cool strategy there through a tool called Metrico, where we're going to make you omnipresent. In other words, we're going to make you appear absolutely everywhere without you having to blog your brains out, without you having to be up all the hours of the day, posting from early morning until late night. Okay, this is what you see these people doing. Oh, I have to post 5 times a day on Twitter. I have to post 10 times a day on LinkedIn. I have to post 60 times a day on Facebook or whatever. We're going to be showing you how to do this very, very, very easily and very repeatable. Okay. Right. Now, remember, this is a very, very, very important disclaimer. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, this is not one of these bad Yatseks, not to be confused with the good Yatseks, magical money-making unicorn spitting out of its bottom machine. Those do not exist. Believe you me, we all learned the hard way, didn't we? It's a get-rich flow with stability scheme. Yeah. And what I'm promising there for all of you on these done for you courses, that if you take the actions there that I prescribe, they're fill in all of the sections of the workbook with us. They're just like the done with you customers. And then there is some work involved. Yeah. We have to fill in those exercises because I have to make sure that we are representing your authentic voice. So in other words, we're not running out there with some version of your message. We're running out there with a message that you are totally comfortable with. Now, remember, sometimes it will be a little bit OTT. It will be over the top. But this is where we have to compromise in the harmony between marketing and between your message, because we do not want some carbon copy of somebody else's offer. We want something there that prescribes to your uniqueness, because everybody, even if you're a twin, even if you're an identical twin, there are these fundamental intrinsic differences. Okay, Jeff Gosling is an identical twin. There, Kuba is also an identical twin. A lot of people there in this network are twins, and it doesn't even matter there if your twin sister, if your twin brother is they're also a coach. Okay, also a teacher, a tutor, a trainer, a mentor, somebody there that helps other people there by providing a service. You have to imagine there that there are differences. Okay, there are fundamental differences, and you are unique. You are unique, and this is what we've got to try to get out. We've got to try to get out your uniqueness to the world. Okay, and many coaches, think about this, this is very, very important. Many coaches along the way, approximately 80%, will give up, and they will return to their very, very expensive hobby, just like there are those people that I talked about. They will return to their 5.5-hour sessions out there tending their lawn, making their lawn perfect, making their lawn absolutely amazing. And believe you me, their lawn does look amazing, but they're bringing their work rate down to about $1.97 an hour. And I don't know about you, but I would love to hire these people and just put them somewhere behind the desk working for me, and I'd gladly pay them $1.97 or even $2.97 an hour. And they say to me, oh, but Paul, I don't work for that. I work for $95 an hour or $195 an hour. And I say, no, you do not. Because if you're there painting all of your house from top to bottom, and don't give me any BS about, like it only taking a few hours. It takes a few weeks. It takes a few weeks. Even if you've got a very small house, and they don't have a very small house, they have a very large house. Trust me. I know this from personal experience. And this is incredibly important. There, you're bringing down your work rate if you're doing absolutely everything. If you're doing the sales, if you're doing the marketing, if you're doing the accounting, the bookkeeping, if you're doing the dishes, if you're doing the garden maintenance, please, 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 please stop. You're put on this earth to do one thing, and this is what you want to do. You want to do coaching. And I understand there that some of you are working a 9-to-5 job. But some of you there, like, for example, Pauline George has made a dedicated plan there that by middle of October, Pauline is going to be down to 3 days a week. There, John Dawson, a life coach from Dublin, is also down to 3 days a week. And this is meaning that these people have got this time then to work on their business, to work on their coaching business, and then to transform it from this expensive hobby, as it is at the moment, into a money-making machine. And then you see, if you're sitting there and if you're earning, let's say, $2,500 per month or $3,500 per month, you can imagine that if you've got a coaching program, and let's say the coaching program is for $3,000 a month, how many of those clients there do you have to have before you can start to reduce the 9-to-5 job, where you're earning, let's say, $3,500 or $4,000? You only have to get, 2-3 of those clients. But remember, you have to produce a repeatable system. It's not enough to just get the 3 clients and then, okay, that's it. Marketing turned off for another few years. No. This has to be a continuous, repeatable process. So there, maybe in month 1, there you've got these three clients. So then what you do is you scale back your 9 to 5. You go and ask your boss if you can reduce your work rate to 3 days a week. And then maybe on the Thursday and the Friday, your free days, you're working with these 3 clients. And then at the same time, you're letting these funnels work for you. So that by month 2, then you've got maybe 6 people, maybe 9 people in your group coaching program. And then month number 3, you've got 12 people in. And by this time, then you see you're generating an income of $36,000. And at that time there, do you really need to be stuck in this 9 to 5 job where you're doing, let's say, 27 hours a week? If you've now reduced it to 3 days a week. So let's say 27 hours, or no, 24 hours, and 24 hours there, let's say, and if you're earning $3,500, there I've interviewed some of you, and there this seems to be about the medium rate. So $3,500, and there you're working about, let's say, 100 hours per month for your boss. Okay, not for yourself. So 100 hours. So that's about $35 per hour. And remember, then you've still got to take tax and that off that. So $35 an hour. Whereas if you were doing this and you've got 10 coaching clients into your $3,000 program, that's $30,000. And then what you're doing is, for these coaching clients, there you prepared your semi-automated material, and then for the rest of them, you're talking about, $30,000 for the 10 coaching clients, and then you're turning up for 90 minutes, maybe once a week or maybe twice a week. There are some of the coaches, they're like you, Evan, and you, David, there you do it twice a week, once every 2 weeks, in other words. So then for, let's say, 1.5 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours a month, let's say 10 hours a month, right? 10 hours a month, there you're talking about earning $300. Yeah, so that's a difference between $35 an hour working for your boss, if you're earning $3,500 per month, compared to earning $300 per month for 10 coaching clients. So in other words, you're earning $300 per hour. So you invest 10 hours into a group coaching program. So like, the preparation, then you're there with them for 90 minutes. Maybe it's on a Thursday, or maybe it's on a Friday, or maybe it's on a Wednesday afternoon. Wednesdays are always good because, Wednesdays, they rarely have holidays associated with them, okay? The holidays are normally associated towards the weekend. And it's quite a good day to choose for the group coaching program. But then $300, think about that. $300 per hour compared to $35 an hour, or compared to, as my friend is now doing, my friend who's a coach, he's now doing it for $2 an hour because he's absolutely doing everything. Yeah. And I'm slowly getting him round to the mentality where he should be changing this. Okay, changing this. But many coaches will give up along the way, but a select few will persevere. And this is what I like to call the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle applied to itself. And this is working with the top 20% of the top 20%. In other words, the top 4%. These are the people that we love working with. These are the people that we would almost work for free with. The people there that we've signed up, the people like Sebastian, the people like Tanya and Hank, the people like Herman and Teresita, the people like Stu, the people like Rachel, the people like, they're all of the people there that we've spoken about time and time and time again. These are the people there that turn up, that are excited, that are enthused about the prospect of taking action in their business. And you see, this is the guarantee that I give to each and every one of you. There, that if you turn up and if you become one of our done with you clients or one of our done for you clients, and if you schedule a call with us by typing in calendar.iCanDOur.net, what we're promising you this: if you complete all of the 8 steps, even for the done for you clients, you complete all of the 8 steps with us, and then you will achieve a minimum of a 2.63x ROI, return on investment, within 90 to 120 days of your initial investment. Or we will continue to provide these marketing services for free until such an ROI has been achieved. Okay, and that's what it's all about. And then we always leave with the 18. We once tried to play the music from Spotify, but it doesn't come through on the Zoom camera unless we make a little change, a little adjustment. But this was the music. It was always a Grey Star television sets in Europe during the 80s. This was a theme from the director called Stephen J. Cannell, and it featured these people like the characters of Colonel Hannibal J. Smith and Murdoch Face and B.A. Baracus, played by Mr. T. Legendary characters. We go do, 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 do. And there would be lots of gunshots fired, but nobody ever died. Nobody ever got killed. It was absolutely amazing. And it would be on before Knight Rider with the legendary Michael Knight, played by David Hasselhoff, and Airwolf with Ernest Borgnine, and there were lots and lots of other characters there. These were all of the TV shows that were imported from the United States, the Grey Star television sets during the 1980s. So it was absolutely brilliant, and we loved each and every moment of it. But we always leave the lesson with that we love it when a plan comes together. Now, remember, in the next lesson, we're going to be going through the letter O of the framework, and O is for offer, O is for omnipresent, and O is for opportunity. So don't forget, set a date in your calendars for 1 p.m. Eastern time when we're going to go live with this lesson. Okay, hope you all enjoyed this. And remember, if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, please put them underneath the video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, thanks a lot. From me, Paul PG Mac McKeown, saying peace out, bye for now, and see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.